Hi and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow now. Let's get started. Placing Faith in Alum, the new book by Jinger Duggar Vuolo, People Pleaser. Breaking free from the burden of imaginary expectations, is almost ready for release. The mother of three, who is 31 years old, has been endorsing her forthcoming biography by taking part in interviews. Becoming Free Indeed, Jinger's prior album, stunned the globe by discussing the dubious doctrines of the IBLP. However, it seems that her prior book also caused some controversy among her close associates. Her remarks on some very unkind relatives may be found farther down the page. Depicted as spanning Jinger's life from infancy into maturity, People Pleaser, breaking free from the burden of imaginary expectations, chronicles her struggles to meet the expectations of others around her. She was a people pleaser until she asked herself who she really was, which took a while. As a result, the former counting on star resolved to stop seeking validation from others and start living life on her own terms. More disturbing information about her loved ones and the people in her life may be revealed in the title, according to certain rumors. Jinger discussed the criticism she received after the release of Becoming Free Indeed in a recent interview. The former counting on star claims that despite the many critiques she would endure, her ultimate purpose was to love and serve the people who had been harmed by the IBLP's doctrines. In her words, "I'm going to just set all that aside and say, no, I want to do what I feel called to do, and that's to speak truth." Jinger Duggar Vuolo did admit that not all of her acquaintances were supportive of her endeavors. While discussing her book, she admitted that some of her loved ones might be very unkind to her. "However, I came to the realization that it was the optimal choice," she concluded. "Sharing the truth with these folks out of love was the finest decision I could have made." Tragic footage from the recent California wildfires has been shared by Jinger Duggar Vuolo. A few hours apart from the inferno lies the Santa Clarita home of the Counting on Alum, her husband, and their children. Jinger is expecting her third kid at the moment, so their situation is equally severe. Jinger has lately posted on social media to reassure fans that she is doing okay, in spite of all that has happened. A video of her and Jeremy bowling was even shared by her. In recent weeks, Jinger Duggar Vuolo, a member of the well-known Duggar family, has been in the news for her open discussions about her childhood and how her beliefs have changed over the years. A biography detailing her own journey away from the strict teachings of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP, and toward a more balanced, grace-filled Christian faith, Becoming Free Indeed, was published in early 2023. Not everyone in Jinger's family was supportive of her coming out in the book, despite the high praise for the book's honesty and bravery. Her recent remarks on the Duggar family's various reactions highlight the challenges of balancing individual development, familial allegiance, and public opinion. Here we will explore Jinger's revelations, the reasons for the overwhelming reaction to her book, and the implications for the future of the Duggar family dynamic. This change in Jinger Duggar's life began with her 2016 marriage to Jeremy Vuolo, a former professional soccer player. Their journey to Los Angeles as a couple was so different from her childhood in rural Arkansas. In particular, Jinger started to doubt her upbringing and the controversial doctrines of IBLP and its leader, Bill Gothard, as she grew older. Duggar home norms and expectations were shaped by IBLP's emphasis on strict gender roles, humility, and a literal reading of the Bible. Jinger discussed the worry and dread she felt after implementing these lessons in her book, Becoming Free Indeed. She spoke of the dread of God's wrath that kept her from slacking off in areas such as dating, modesty, and obedience. Rather than casting aspersions on her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, her biography candidly recounts her journey to liberation via a new interpretation of Christianity. "I wanted to make it crystal clear that I love my family," Jinger remarked while on tour to promote her book. "The purpose of this book is not to criticize them. This is all about me and my journey of self-discovery. If it might be of assistance to others going through the same issue, that would be great." Not everyone in Jinger's family shared her view that her book was compassionate and graciously written. While some of her siblings were encouraging, she recently acknowledged in an interview that others were cruel. "A few members of my family were so kind and supportive," she said. The fact that I was open and honest with them made them proud, they told me. However, there were those who were quite critical of it. My words had an offensive or hurtful effect on them. Though she refrained from naming names, Jinger's remarks led admirers to wonder whether members of her family had reservations about her biography. Her resignation was met with the most criticism from those who remained deeply committed to the ideas of IBLP, considering the Duggars' long-standing devotion to its teachings. Jinger hasn't had it easy dealing with the consequences of her book. She said that it is challenging when one loves their family deeply yet has conflicting perspectives. Even though I anticipated some friction, it hurts anyway. I make an effort to remember that everyone is on their own path and that I understand that not everyone will share my views. Disagreements over religious matters have always plagued the Duggar family. Some of the Duggar children have strayed from their family's traditional values over the years. Another sister of Jinger's, Dillard, has been vocal about breaking away from her parents' control and embracing a new lifestyle with her husband, Derek. Released in September 2023, Jill's novel Counting the Cost similarly recounted her upbringing under Jim Bob Duggar's tight supervision and her choice to escape from the IBLP system. Love and complexity characterized Jinger's connection with her parents. Although she freely admits that the beliefs they followed had a negative influence on their huge family, she has talked generously about their sacrifices and commitment to raise them in interviews. "They are still my parents," she said. "We are deeply loved by each other. We just have a new perspective on things." Many have lauded Becoming Free Indeed since its publication, praising its insightful criticism of religious fundamentalism and its sincere honesty. Many people have found Jinger's narrative to be relevant and encouraging, including those who come from Orthodox Christian homes. Her courage to speak out against religion that is built on fear while yet being a devout Christian has touched many. But other people had negative things to say. While some thought Jinger was unjustly attacking her parents' views, others said she was using family issues for financial gain. Jinger denied the allegations and said that she had no intention of sowing discord. To her credit, she did acknowledge that there might be difficulties in writing the book. "I thought it was vital to pass on what I've learned, however. My deepest desire is for those who are ensnared in systems that are founded on fear to realize that there is a path that leads to liberation and happiness." Jinger has a positive outlook on life and her familial ties, even if the publication of her book has been emotionally taxing for her. She and her family husband Jeremy and daughters Felicity and Evangeline keep their California home. The pair has adopted a way of living that combines their religious beliefs with a more progressive, accepting outlook on life. Additionally, Jinger has dropped hints about potential future endeavors. "Composing this book marked the commencement of my journey," she said. "Spreading the gospel in a manner that is hopeful and filled with grace is something I'm really passionate about. I have plenty more tales to share." Jinger Duggar's bravery and dedication to being herself are on full display in her journey from a religion founded on fear to liberation. Her book has caused quite a stir in her family, but it is also a potent call to self-improvement and the capacity to challenge dogma.